King Solomon loved God, but he did not love God with his whole heart. Solomon had hundreds of wives, and many of them were from other nations. Solomon's wives turned him away from God, and he began to worship the false gods that his wives worshipped. This made God angry.
Since you have done this, I will take the kingdom away from you. You will be king the rest of your life. But when your son becomes king, he will lose everything except for one tribe.
When Solomon died, his son Rehoboam became king. The people were willing to serve Rehoboam on one condition.
Your father Solomon worked us really hard. If you work us less, we will be loyal to you.
Rehoboam thought about it and asked the elders for advice.
What should I do?
If you're nice to them, they will be loyal to you and work for you.
But Rehoboam ignored that advice. He asked his own friends what he should do instead.
So, what should I do?
Work them harder, because if you don't, they're gonna take advantage of you.
Rehoboam listened to his friends, which was the wrong thing to do.
I am greater than my father. You will be loyal to me, and I will work you harder. Where are you going?
The people did not want to serve a king like Rehoboam, so they made Jeroboam king.
Long live Jeroboam!
Jeroboam had been one of Solomon's officials. Now he was king of the northern kingdom of Israel. Only one tribe remained under Rehoboam's rule, and that was the southern kingdom of Judah.
Judah's not enough. Just one tribe?
Rehoboam did not like being king of only one tribe. He planned to attack the northern kingdom of Israel, but God sent a prophet to stop him.
I have a message from God. Do not fight them. The people of Israel are part of your family. I am the Lord, and I am in control of what is happening.
So Rehoboam went home. Now Jeroboam was the king of Israel, but he wasn't a good king. When the people of Israel traveled to Jerusalem to worship God at the temple, Jeroboam worried that they would start thinking of Rehoboam as their leader. So Jeroboam made idols and spoke to the people.
This is the God that brought you out of Egypt. Would you not want to go to Jerusalem? No, it's too far. You stay right here and worship your God.
What Jeroboam did was a sin. Those idols did not lead God's people out of Egypt. God led his people out of Egypt. Jeroboam led all the people to worship the false gods instead of the one true God.
Hail Nutty! All hail Nutty! All hail Nutty!
God's people needed a leader who would lead them perfectly, a leader who would lead them to worship and follow God always. They needed a leader to lead them back to God. Through Rehoboam, God graciously kept the promise he made to David that his kingdom would last forever. King Solomon, Rehoboam, and Jeroboam all failed to lead God's people perfectly. God's people needed a better king, a perfect king. Even though the rulers were not faithful to God, God was faithful to keep his promise to make David's kingdom last forever. Through David's family, God would send his own son Jesus to be the perfect king over God's people forever. Jesus is greater than Solomon. He is greater than Rehoboam, and he is greater than Jeroboam. Jesus brings his people together and leads them back to God.
What's so funny? He was.
Okay. My advisor is a midget and I don't like her advice. What should I do?
Good for you.
Really?
I'll stop. I am greater than my father. I will work you harder and you will be loyal.
Mr. Ken!
Okay, before you do.
Long live Jeroboam!
Freaking traitors!
Kenneth Edward.
You don't want to go to Jerusalem. You want to stay right here in Egypt. Is this not the God? What?
No, stop.